Do you sometimes have trouble relating to other people's feelings? Do you wonder if it's possible to develop greater empathy? Well, today I'm going to show you 4 strategies that could help you become a more compassionate person and develop greater empathy. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a fun tip on how to introduce the concept of empathy to kids. So keep watching, because all that and more is coming up. Hey everyone, I'm Pastor Kevin Patterson, seeking to live out and help you live out the teachings of Jesus. If that's your desire and you're new here, then be sure to subscribe. Today, we're looking at 4 strategies to help you develop greater empathy and become a more compassionate person. Sometimes it's hard to be kind and compassionate. Paul tells us in Colossians that we're meant to be clothed with compassion. That is, compassion and kindness are supposed to be something that we wear all the time, like a familiar, comfortable old sweatshirt. At the heart of compassion and kindness is empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share in the feelings of another. It's the ability to put yourself in another person's place, to understand how they're feeling, and to share in some way in those feelings. We all have varying abilities to empathize with others. The big question is, can you develop your capacity for compassion and empathy? And the answer is a resounding yes. Empathy is not only an innate quality, it's a skill that you can develop. In fact, showing empathy can become a habit that can transform your relationships and develop your ability to impact others for the Lord. How can we build more empathy? Here are 4 ways. First, listening. James 1:19 tells us everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Listening to others with an open mind helps us understand where they're coming from. The more we listen, the more we're able to understand what they're feeling and why they're feeling that way. Ask open-ended questions like, "Tell me more about that," and "What was that like?" Second, certain types of focused prayer and reflection can actually build and reshape the part of the brain that's responsible for empathy. And it doesn't take much time. As little as 10 minutes a day can result in positive, visible changes in the brain. So how do you do it? Take the time to sit quietly and reflect on your own feelings. Now, that's kind of counterintuitive. Understanding your own feelings better helps you relate better to the feelings of others. So think about how you're feeling in that moment, both physically and emotionally. Just bring those feelings quietly into the presence of God. Be with those feelings and with God. It's that simple if you'll just take the time to do it. A third practice that can build empathy is focused prayer in love. So it works like this. First of all, when you come to God in prayer, think about those who are closest to you, those you love the most, your family, your loved ones, and lift them up before the Lord in prayer, asking His blessing on them with kindness and love. Then think about your friends. Think about them with kindness. Extend God's love and compassion to them in prayer. Now, think about your acquaintances, a wider circle. Think about them with love and kindness and bring them before God and ask His blessing on them. Now, what about the whole world? Strangers near and far, people you've never met. Extend God's love to them in prayer, asking His blessing on them. And finally, here's the challenge. Think about your enemies or those who count themselves your enemy. And as Jesus taught us, ask God's blessing on them. Bring His love to them as well. The 4th way to build compassion is service, volunteering. Galatians 5:13 says, "Serve one another humbly in love." Serving other people builds our empathy when we see how they're struggling and realize that we have the power to help. When we get involved in serving others hands-on, we have the opportunity to learn about how they're struggling and understand where they're coming from. And so, listening, awareness of our own feelings, focused, loving prayer, and service to others, these can all help us develop our capacity for empathy and compassion. Now, if you would like a fun way to introduce the idea of empathy to kids, check out Mark Ruffalo on Sesame Street with his Muppet friend. The link is in the description below. When is it most challenging for you to relate to the feelings of others? Do you know of other strategies that can help build the capacity for empathy and compassion? Tell us about it in the comments below and check out what others have to say. I'm Pastor Kevin Patterson, joining you on the journey of following Jesus. If you enjoyed this video, then remember to like it. If you know others who could benefit from this content, then please share it with them. And if you want more content like this, then subscribe. And until next time, be clothed with compassion.